Greetings YouTube, let's have a look at Conan Exiles. Why am I doing this? Well, back in January I did a video about Sony censoring risque content, you know, things like girls showing off a little bit much in the game. They're just doing this weird censorship thing. It's not making the games impossible to access, just tweaking little things here and there, and I don't know why they're doing it, why they're bothering. But I said at the time I was going, if I can get my tongue out of my mouth, I was going to have a look at some of these games, and it's taken me a while to get round to it. But this is one of them, and I'm going to go through it with you now. Okay, so you fire up the game, and one of the aspects of the game that you can tweak is the nudity. And that's not even an exaggeration. If you go down to body features when creating your character, you can see down here it says nudity. I mean full nudity. Or partial, if you like. You can change the nudity setting by selecting it there. None, partial or full. But here's the thing. If you select full, nothing happens. Because it says maximum nudity on server, none. And this is what throws a fair few people, myself included, because how do you turn it on if you're not allowed to turn it on? I mean, even once I fired the game up, if I go into the menu and go into settings, if I can find it somewhere, it will be somewhere, press the right button. Even if I go into settings, it says nudity, none, partial, full. So you can change it after the game started, but it keeps on going. Maximum nudity on server, none. So you can't change it there either. You come out of there, go back in. No, it's gone back to none. You can't do it. Now you can get around this problem by creating your own server effectively. I mean, it calls it a server, but even if you're in single player it calls it a server. I don't know why, but select new game, and instead of picking your difficulty setting, easy, normal or hard, because that bakes in all the settings, select custom. Go to general, and then right down at the bottom it lets you select the nudity level, the maximum permissible nudity on the server. So if we just select full, and now if we go down to body features, it says maximum nudity on server, full. And so if you select partial, it takes her top off, and if you select full, it takes her underwear off. But you've got to do that faffing around in the menu first in order for that to work. And yes, it does work on both the male and female characters. And last time I checked, this game was available on the PlayStation Store for 45 quid. And yet it allows you to do this kind of thing. They can't give a damn about censorship that much. This game is about a year old. In fact, it's almost exactly a year old. As far as I'm aware, they started censoring before then. And yet this is still a thing. I really don't understand it. And yes, I do appreciate that I'm censoring my own video. I do recognise the bloody-minded irony of the situation, that I'm complaining about Sony's censorship when I'm doing censorship myself. The reason for that is simple. I don't want YouTube to ban me. Frankly, I'd like it if they didn't delete my channel if it's all the same with everybody else. Now once you're in the game, there is another way that you can do that, get around it. You can go into settings, and if you go across to server settings, general, you can't select anything except it does say make me admin. And if you're in a solo game, who's going to argue with you? If you just say make me admin, admin rights granted. You are allowed to cheat. So you can change all of these different settings on here. You can again set the maximum nudity permissible on the server from here if you want. But yeah, this game lets you get away with that. And apparently Sony does as well, because it's on their platform. I'm going to talk about the game a little bit as well, if that's alright with you. The first time I played this, I walked very slowly down this road, trying to figure out what the hell you're supposed to do, because there's nothing here. Literally, I mean, it's a wasteland, it's a desert. The very definition of a wasteland. Except there is, because this game doesn't tell you a lot. In fact, it tells you nothing. For example, what it doesn't tell you is that you can do this. If I can get close enough. I just picked up a stick off the ground. There's no prompt. It says that you can press square to interact, but it doesn't tell you can pick up the branches. But you can. Oh, by the way, that rock, I can have that as well. Oh, and that one, 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 and all of a sudden there's a lot of, you realise there's a lot of stuff you can do. This bush over here, one of many, you can grab plant fibre from it. Doesn't tell you can do any of this. I was wandering around in circles for goddamn ages, wondering what am I supposed to do. One of the things you'll have to do is drink, of course, and if you just run up to the, or jog slowly up to the water, you can just press the action button and you drink automatically, and while focusing on it you can refill your water pouch. It's pretty straightforward. It's intuitive once you know how to do it. The game looks worse than it is. That's the problem. And another thing you'll have to do is eat. And again, this takes a bit of working out. Get your stone sword. Don't bother with the lock on, it's a pain. Oops, circle is dodge. There we go. There we go. And now it becomes a case of, well, how do you interact with the corpse? Because, well, there's no meat on it, can't pick it up, what do you do? I'm getting hungry. The answer is you make an axe and you chop him up with the axe. And this is hilarious, watch this. Meat. It just vanishes. It's so bad. You know, visually the game is bad. Functionally it's actually quite good. It's got all the right features. It's just the graphics and oh wow, and the body's popping out of existence. Okay, so I have to eat the meat. The problem is that if I eat it straight away, it's going to give me food poisoning. So let's make a campfire if I can. Yes, I can. There we go. Put down a campfire. And then this is another thing you have to work out that the game doesn't tell you. You give the wood to the campfire and you give the meat to the campfire. Ignore the right hand panel, that's just telling you what to do, except it doesn't really tell you, it just gives a series of numbers. So you give the wood, give the meat, and then you tap L2 to toggle the fire's function on. 1, 2, that's it. It's done. And then you just triangle to take all. Go into your inventory somewhere. Into your inventory, I said. And use. And that's it, you've eaten it. It's not difficult, but you need to know how to do it. And the game is really lousy at instructing you on, well, basic stuff. Let's try building a house. Or what passes for a house in this game. Select the wall, craft, and nice and straightforward. But you'll notice it suddenly says this needs to snap to an existing building piece. It won't let you put it just anywhere you want. Another thing this game doesn't tell you. What you actually have to do is you have to build a foundation. Like so. Foundation, and now we can put that down somewhere. Bing. And now we can get the wall, and now we can attach it to something. Ta-da! There we go. Same for the wall. Not enough resources, typical. position the walls around the outside. Like so. Ta-da! It seems to think this is a home. Can even put a wall with a window. Ooh, getting classy. Put a doorway in. Stick the door there. Ahaha. And there we have a home without a roof. Yeah, the roof's extra. Don't worry about raping the whole countryside for resources. They all come back the following day. It's actually quite funny to realise that not only do dead bodies vanish as soon as you're done chopping the meat out of them, but all the plants and even full-size trees grow back overnight. It's hilarious, is this game. I don't think it's supposed to be. I think it's supposed to be quite serious. Select the roof tiles, and you have to be a bit careful here. You have to, if you want the roof to align itself properly, you have to make sure that it's... You have to... Yeah, it's a bit difficult to tell which way it's aiming sometimes. Oops, I think I had it there. There we go. Yay. Because the problem is that once you've placed a roof piece like that, you can't deconstruct part of the house without completely breaking the component. It doesn't go back into your inventory. The bedroll can be returned to your inventory, and the campfire can be, because they're furniture, but the building, no, not so much. And that's it. Find shelter. And I'm beginning to die of thirst. There we go. I have a house. Yeah, I know it looks like shit, but that's just the game all over. I mean, look at it. The graphics are not brilliant. I'm not a graphics snob, I don't really care about that kind of thing, but yeah, it's pretty bad. If you imagine it as being Minecraft, but with a slightly more serious bent to it. I mean, for me, Don't Starve is more accessible, but this is kind of fun as well. And there's also the nudity thing, which is the whole reason I had a look at this game in the first place. Yeah, I think that'll do. I don't want to get too far into it. That's Conan Exiles, another game that Sony has on its storefront that lets you have a fully naked character. Go figure. I'm going to go through a few more games like this. Like, dislike, comment, subscribe and share, all that jazz. See you next time. I didn't tell you to punch. Actually, I might have done.